On September 12 of 1962, then-President John F. Kennedy gave an impassioned speech at Rice Stadium that inspired not only the nation, but the world. In that speech he encouraged us to broaden our horizons, meet new challenges and reach for the stars. To boldly go where no man had gone before. It was the birth of a dream. His vision was of a better, stronger world, one with far less limitations. It was a lofty goal. Some of the technologies that would be needed to achieve it were not even invented at the time. That did not deter him though, and he forged ahead with a plan to take us to the moon and back again.
The best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
But did we really go? Flash forward to 1969 and the Apollo 10 mission. The Apollo 10 mission was the first flight of a complete, crewed Apollo spacecraft to operate around the moon. It was a dress rehearsal for the moon landing and brought the Apollo lunar module to 8.4 nautical miles from the lunar surface, the point where powered descent would begin on the actual landing. It was a mission designed to duplicate how a landing would have gone, both in space and for ground control. The crew members were Thomas Stafford, Eugene Cernan, and John Young. Objectives included a scheduled 8-hour lunar orbit of the separated lunar module, and descent to about 9 miles off the moon's surface before ascending for rendezvous and docking with the command and service module. 12 television transmissions to Earth were planned, and according to NASA all mission objectives were achieved. During those televised transmissions, the astronauts on board the lunar module were happy to display the effects of weightlessness on both themselves and ordinary objects. This is original unaltered NASA footage from the Apollo 10 mission. Film taken includes various scenes of Thomas Stafford, Eugene Cernan and John Young working in the command module, lunar orbit views, Earthrise, and re-entry, as well as nice close-ups of the lunar surface. We'll only be looking at a small clip here. A clip in which the astronauts are filming the surface of the moon. On the right side of the screen you can see the astronauts' reflection in the glass. We see a finger show up on the left of the screen. Initially we get just glimpses of movement. As he moves around and the light is turned on, it gets easier to see what's going on. He seems to be seated at first, then gets up, alternates between seated and standing again. The American flag on his suit is visible, and you can even see his face for a second as he comes in close to adjust something. I've highlighted that with a white circle. His shoulder is then visible as he turns again, and then shockingly he turns and walks away. Normally. He even seems to be striding away as a matter of fact, and we can see him adjusting his pants as he does. I've highlighted his figure walking away with a white circle for better visibility. What's shocking about it is that there is absolutely no weightlessness. He is striding away perfectly normally on solid ground. He also seems to be striding away in a much larger space than the lunar module had available. Footage shows that the lunar module was very small and cramped, with barely enough room to stand, much less stride away like that. This would not be possible if they were on the lunar module. The clip will be replayed with light adjustment for better visibility. I've adjusted the light a bit here. Not a lot because I don't want to alter the original much, just enough to make the reflections crisper and clearer for better visibility. As you will see, it's much easier to see details like the flag and the astronaut walking away in this adjusted clip. Many have long claimed that the moon landings were a hoax perpetrated by NASA in an attempt to win the space race. There have even been allegations that NASA has tampered with or destroyed evidence. These theories have been around for over 40 years. Much evidence has been brought forth to prove these claims. I have never, however, seen anything quite as compelling as this. As the reflection flickers against the glass, and we begin to put the pieces together of what we're seeing, the questions come tumbling forth. It has been theorized that NASA faked the landings to forego humiliation and ensure that it continued to get funding, that the landings had been faked to fulfill Kennedy's 1961 goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth before the decade was out. As we watch the astronaut walk away, back turned to us, giving his pants a tug, we think of all the countries with space programs: Russia, Europe, Japan, and China. We wonder what kind of grand hoax is being played on humanity, and to what end? One last quick replay of his receding figure. This footage leaves us with a sense of unease, and with more questions than can be answered easily. As always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe.